Hey guys, it is David here from Tarot Avenue. I hope you are all well, and I'm here today to demonstrate my New Year forecast tarot spread. So I've developed a spread really to look at a little bit of reflection on the year that's gone, but a lot of it is about just a bit of a forecast in terms of what's coming up in the next year. I always believe that knowledge is power. I do also believe nothing's set in stone, so it is just giving you those kind of markers and the way that things could go and showing where things could potentially go. So it covers everything from love to family and friends, relationships, but also shows up like biggest obstacles, how to overcome those obstacles, and just a general view for the year to come. So I reached out to my Facebook group actually, which you can find at facebook.com/Tarot Avenue, just to see if there was somebody who was happy to be the demonstration for this. And I had quite a few people reach out, and I've heard from Sally, who I picked Sally at random to do this spread for. So this is a demo for Sally. So the way that the spread works, there's 13 cards in the spread. It starts up the top with just a summary of the year gone. Then we have a look at the career. And this is for the next year in terms of how career will be, finances, love, family, friends, and spirituality. Now, if you're doing this spread for yourself or for somebody else, you can change these. It's not set in stone like that. You don't have to use these specific areas. You can put in whatever's important to you and whatever you want to know about. Some people like health in there as well, but I haven't put it in. Sometimes I switch it out for spirituality. And then we'll look at the next 4 quarters. So it depends when you're doing this reading. I think the natural time to do this is at the end of the year, going into a new year. So I've done it January to March, April to June, July to September, October, December. But you could do it according to seasons, or you could do it just for next 3 months, or maybe even you want to do further out in the next 4 years. But what I would say with that is there's so much can change in that time. It would be really difficult to get a read on that. Then we go to the biggest obstacles that you will face, and then we'll look at how to tackle those obstacles, and then a bit of an overview for the year ahead. So let's look at this for Sally. So we'll have the summary for the year gone, and we get the Knight of Cups. That's a really nice card for Sally. It would suggest to me that it has been a good year for her. It looks like there's been some growth. You know, she's been moving forward. I always think Knight of Cups is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I always think of him as being on a quest, you know. It's almost like on the search for the Holy Grail or something that he's holding. So it would signify that there's been growth. Certainly emotionally, you know, the cups represent emotions. It can represent love. So it could have been a year full of romance, but it can also be just somebody who's really exploring their spirituality as well. So she may have been on a bit of a spiritual journey this year. So it would certainly say it looks to me overall it's been a great year for her, a year full of growth, and she's got this cup in her hand, you know, this cup full of love and emotion, and it's up to her to decide what to do with that now. So I feel like moving into this next year will be the important thing, and there's something else comes up in the reading with that later as well. So then we get to career outlook, and we get the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands for me is, you know, it's nines are always about you're on the brink, you're almost there, you're almost reaching your goal, but just not quite. And it says as well, I get the feeling that she's been working really quite hard. You know, it's been a bit of I think she is a hard worker, and she's been through the wars a little bit as well. If you look at the character in the card, he's got the bandage on his head there, and it just leaves him a little bit guarded, you know. It's like issues from the past are just leaving you, yes, you're very safe and comfortable and protected, but if anything, just a little bit guarded and a little bit shut off. So I would say for her, it's like she just has to be careful not to let the past influence her too much, and leave herself really open to new things as well, because there's potential that Sally could just be a little bit stuck. But what she has to know is that she's built this protection around her. She's built this great thing around her, but she has to start looking to the future and not to the past, or at least live in the present. And don't be afraid to make yourself vulnerable every now and again, because there is a tendency to shut yourself off. And then we get to finances, and it's looking good. We get the Three of Cups, so that's about celebration. You know, it's spending time with your friends, quite often girlfriends when we see this card. But and three signify growth as well. So I would say financially it's looking good. If anything, the only thing in there I would say is a warning, just not to take it too far in terms of the celebrations, the partying, all those kind of things. But I think it looks like she has been working hard, and maybe this is a year that she's just going to enjoy it and go on trips and just celebrate and have fun with those around her. So certainly looks very positive when it comes to finances. Then we get to the love outlook, and we get the Magician. Lovely card to have in this position. And what I see as well is, like, if you look at this Magician, he's pointing right up at that Knight of Cups. So this is, it says to me in terms of love, I think Sally has the Magician is all about manifestation. We all have the power within. You know, you can put things out to the universe. You can create your own future, really. But what it would say to me, she has all the skills. She has everything she needs to have a great relationship, and the relationship that she deserves, but she just needs to believe it. She needs to start asking for it, and she just needs to really channel that Knight of Cups as well. I mean, the Knight of Cups can literally represent the knight in shining armor, so I think it's saying to me that she could make that come true. She really could bring that romance into her life, and I don't know if she's in a relationship or not. But even if she is at the moment, it's about making that relationship better. But the Magician, it's a fantastic card. You know, it says to me, I think you're going to have a great year, but you have to believe that you deserve it, and you have to believe that you've got this power to make it happen, because you really have. And then we get to the family and friends outlook, and that's kind of relationships with family and friends. And we get the Five of Pentacles reversed. So what this would say to me is, things could have been a little bit tough in that with family and friends. I feel like some people have gone through a bit of a tough time, but what I always get drawn to in this card is, like, even though these guys are outside the church, and you know, one's looks like he's crippled, and they're out in the cold, they're still together. So it's just that card can come up for marriage as well. It's like for richer for poorer, but it's really saying to me that no matter what happens, your family and friends will be there for each other. And with it being reversed as well, I feel like things are going to get better. So I don't know, I think maybe somebody around you has had a bit of a tough time, but you've really stuck with them, and I think they've really appreciated that. And it looks that things are definitely on the up with that, and that's about to get better. And then we get the spirituality outlook, and we get the Six of Cups reversed. So the Six of Cups is, for me, is really about reminiscing. It's about looking to the past, and it can be about being nostalgic, really, as well. So it's actually a really nice card, because you can learn loads of lessons from the past, but you just have to be careful with it being reversed as well. You're potentially just getting stuck in the past. It's another one about living in the present. The spirituality, because something worked for you before, doesn't mean it's necessarily going to work for you now. So I think it's just explore where you are at the moment, what's important to you, where you want to go, and where you want your spirituality to be. Because you're potentially just living in the past a little bit. So that's what I would say for that. And then we get to January to March outlook, and we get the Four of Wands reversed. So the Four of Wands again is about celebration. It's not too dissimilar to the Three of Cups, which is above it. About celebration, about community. It's about stability with your community and stuff as well. But it's reversed, so it's maybe saying to me, like, it's time to branch out. You know, I feel like, because I see it lined up with this Nine of Wands as well, and I feel for you, you're very stable. You're in a very, I feel like you're in a good place, good stable place, but there is potential for you to just get stuck there, and I feel like it's time for action. It's time for new things. So, you know, going into the new year, I want you to start looking at goals and goal setting. I do have a post about that, tarotavenue.com/goals, I think it is. So if you have a look at that, because I feel like going into this new year, it's a case for you, it's a time for you really to think, what's important to me? What do I really, really want this year? And then just start to don't settle for second best. You know, I think things are good, but they can be even better. So that's what I would say about that. And then we get to the April to June, and we get the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups for me is, I would certainly say it's going to be a good 3 months for you. The Queen of Cups is incredibly soft. She's very genuine person. Really, can be quite emotional, which is a good thing. But she can be. Some people see the Queen of Cups as being quite psychic as well. So it's maybe a time for you to explore your intuition, to really, if you are spiritual or psychic or anything like that, maybe it's a time to develop that as well, and to look at it, moving that along as well. Or it could just be that this is a time where you feel really very feminine card as well, very maternal card. So it could just be a time when you feel very spiritual, very maternal, feel very happy with who you are. So whatever it is, I think it's going to be a really good 3 months for you. The next 3 months is a little bit of a different story. We'll get the Eight of Swords there. And the Eight of Swords is all about just being a little bit stuck again, but it's almost like you're trapping yourself because you're not seeing the big picture. If you look at the character in the card, she's got all these bandages on, but she could release herself. You know, these swords could it's like she's shutting herself in a little bit. So you just need to kind of take the blindfolds off and just have a look around. And again, I feel like for you, it's about self-belief. It's about believing what you can achieve. You're almost, as soon as you think, oh yeah, I would really like that, you put this negative barrier in, thinking, oh, but I could never do that. Or, yeah, no, I really want to, oh, I want a promotion at work. Oh no, I'm not good enough. Something like that. So it's like you're putting these little barriers in for yourself. So I think that's a time for you to really just be aware of that heading into that 3 months. And as soon as these things start happening, just get rid of, like, because the swords are thoughts. And so it's like, just get rid of that sword, remove those blockages, remove those negative thoughts, and I think you'll be fine. And then going into the last 3 months, we'll get the Hanged Man, and he's reversed as well. So what that says to me, the Hanged Man is all about surrender. It's just about letting go and just being comfortable and letting things happen around you. When it's reversed there's potentially just a reluctance to let go. You're maybe just but it's one of these things, like the life is cyclical, and things are happening around you, and it ties in with the Six of Cups as well, because you've been in a good place and you've been happy, but you're just not prepared to kind of let go, surrender, make those sacrifices to get ready for a new beginning. So for me, again, it's another card about action. It's just about being careful not to get too stuck with the inaction and just being safe. It's time for, yep, safe is good, but there's much better out there than safe, and you deserve better than that. And then we get to biggest obstacles you will face. Eight of Pentacles, really nice card. So you've got quite a few eights in there, but it's a really nice card. It's about building your future. It's about working hard. And in terms of obstacle, it's like you might, I feel again, so I feel like this is quite career related for you, this whole reading. It's like you've kind of got your head down and you're chipping away, you're building, but you're not really kind of looking at what you've achieved or thinking about what you can achieve. So in terms of obstacle, there's a couple of things it could mean. It could mean that there's potential that you can overwork yourself. You might find that you're getting a little bit stuck in the workspace and potential a bit of a workaholic type situation. But there is also potential that you're just not, again, you're self-limiting, and you're not kind of looking at, again, the bigger picture and thinking, what can I really achieve with this? and then how to tackle that obstacle, and we get the Three of Wands. So the Three of Wands is just taking those steps. Again, it's another three which is about growth, but it's about taking those steps onto, you know, new horizons, taking the step onto something new, and just it's like you've got this whole world ahead of you, but you're just scared to take those first steps and leave the past behind. But it is there, and you can do it, and you can achieve it. So I would say go for it. And that's how you. It can also mean travel as well, actually. And then an overview of the year ahead, and another 8 for you. And then we get to the Eight of Wands reversed. So if that was upright, usually it means speed. It usually means things are happening really quickly, a period of great growth. It can mean overseas travel as well. When I'm seeing this reverse, it's just saying to me that things are going to be a little bit slower. I think there's going to be a little bit of a delay. I really feel like the first 6 months of the year is going to be very steady, being very kind of solid, and not an awful lot will change. But I think you're going to have a turning point, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say around about August, because there's so many 8s coming up. I'm thinking that I'm being drawn to the 8th month of the year. So I feel like August is going to be a bit of a turning point, and that's, I think, when things turn, it will be all systems go, and it will be happening really quickly. And yeah, it should be exciting times. So that is it. That's the overall spread. So I think things are certainly looking really good for Sally. And that's, I hope you've found that spread enjoyable. Please feel free to use it as you wish. If you did want to book this reading, I'm selling this as well on my website. If you want one for yourself, so just go to tarotavenue.com/New Year, and you will be able to purchase that reading there. So I hope that was useful for you, and I certainly wish you all the best, and I will see you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.